Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today we'll be doing an event review of Block Wars Rookies 5, the very successful Minecraft event that happened yesterday. If you don't know, I organize Block Wars. Block Wars Rookies is a spin-off version of Block Wars where we mostly invite variety creators in an environment that is lower comp, which is friendly for most people to, have a better chance at doing a bit better compared to a usual Minecraft event where you're going to be playing against Minecraft players that play a lot, right? This is just an easier version of Block Wars, essentially. And also kind of a spectacle, really, on average, because typically with variety streamers being invited as such, you'll see some pretty big names, of course, make an appearance, and some fun crossovers between creators, which is always very fun and very cool. Either way, let's get started. First, I will say this video will of course contain spoilers, etc. regarding this event, so keep that in mind. It won't be spoiler heavy immediately, so if you haven't watched yet, I will get to a post that suggests a POV for you to watch, and then I will get into the spoilers of who won, etc., okay? Either way, the participants were as follows for the most part. Red team ended up having Seni K4 play instead of Zoil, and I think that's the only sub that happened that wasn't in this image. I think everyone else ended up playing totally fine. So yeah, that's the one thing to keep in mind, that Zoil didn't end up playing because Zoil was in LA and didn't have a PC. Classic streamers, of course. So that's why Seni ended up playing. And then, in case you haven't watched and don't have a POV you would like to watch, number one, I think any of the anchor POVs are going to be a fun one to watch. I think my POV is pretty solid. It's the VOD right here. You can watch Booster, you can watch SK, or you could watch Sleepy for one of those POVs as well. If you do not want to watch a POV that was an anchor POV, but you just want to watch a fun POV in general, some suggestions were made here where people said Deme is a good POV to watch, Aqua was a really fun POV, and Yellow was really fun, and Red again is mentioned. So if you want to watch a POV and you have no specific one in mind yet, Red, Yellow, and Aqua are mentioned to be some fun ones. I think every other POV is always going to be good here as well. I just think that this makes sense, right? It's a team of 6 that's just goofing around. It's a team of, like, Minecraft familiars, for the most part, right? Playing an event mostly for the first time, and this red team is very good vibes because they're mostly like CS or like the same bubble of content for the most part, so that should be a fun one as well. Either way, now we get into spoilers, so if you haven't watched and you don't want to know who wins, this is your warning. I'll give you like 3 seconds, okay? While I catch my breath a little bit. Okay, now on to the spoilers. The winners of this event were the red team, which is pretty funny if you do ask me. Booster, Deme, Russell, Seni, and PSP or Smiley Beef ended up winning this event. I think the Seni sub-in, of course, was a very big factor to this because Seni ended up placing first individually as a newcomer in this event, which is very impressive for somebody who just, joined literally when the event started and had like no prep at all. But it kind of shows that Seni is somebody who has potential to maybe in a regular event do pretty well as well, right? Also, this means that Booster finally wins another Block Wars. Is it a bit Mickey? Sure. But he finally does get another Block Wars win after, I don't even know how long, honestly. I think the last time he won was like the start of Series 2 Block Wars, like the what's it called? After we split, it was like one of the early ones I think that Booster won, and since then I don't even know if he had made it to the finals. He probably did, but first time in a long ass time that Booster got a win. I'm fairly sure this is everyone else's first win as well, considering there are 3 newcomers, and then I don't think Deme had won before. But very fun team. It seemed like everyone on this team had a good time. So W, good one, right? Anyways. Next up, regarding this team, there was this post that was posted about Seni having some words to share regarding this Block Wars, so let's go over it.
You guys know this shit? Hey, this is cool, bro. I don't care if it's big or small, their first event or whatever. That was the best event I've ever been a part of. That was the craziest, like, most seamless Minecraft experience I've ever had in my life. Whoever coded that or made that, that was genuinely the best thing I've ever played. There was not a single wrong thing. Nothing.
Hell yeah, man. As you can tell, people enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. You also have Russell from the red team saying that it was really good and that he'd love to do it again, which is always good to hear, of course. And then, I guess, speaking of Russell, I guess to showcase the winning shot for the finale, you see this POV right here.
There we go. Back on their side. Go. Oh my god. Oh! Dude.
He says Messi, 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 and then does Ronaldo's Sui. It's great. It's fantastic. But congratulations again to the red team, of course, for doing so well. They clutched it out against the green team, which had Joe Bart. And would you look at that, Joe Bart, after game 2 was in first. This was a spectacle to see. I don't know if Joe has ever been in first individually at any point during an event, but here we are. Joe Bart was indeed in first individual for blockwars rookies for a little bit. After that, I think Foolish was in first for a point in time, and then Senny, I think, took it after, I don't remember what game it was, but Senny was just kind of running with it. So yeah, hell yeah, love to see it. W, man. Very cool. Then, sorry, I'm trying to fix my music a little bit. There you go. Next up, it's the same thing, I guess, to an extent. At the end of the event, with all the individual placements, the leaderboard was really like shook up, of course, because the 4 best like mechanical players, me, Booster, SK, and Sleepy, all were anchored, right? We all had this anchor modifier turned on, and that shook up that leaderboard quite a lot. I was the only anchored player, I think, in top 10. I was actually top 5. But it does mean that people like Joe Bart, the GOAT, outplaced Booster, who is not really considered S tier, but he's considered a good player, which is pretty funny, honestly. I think Joe ended up outplacing me. So that's pretty fun, right? Either way, yeah, W. People were saying, or you have to remember that he was anchored, so it does limit his abilities. Yeah, but it's funny to make fun of Booster, okay? It's funny to make fun of Booster. Understand that. Either way. Thoughts. There was some thoughts shared as well after the fact about all of the stuff that took place in this event. The anchor modifier was well received. It was pretty funny. Of course, certain parts of the event were a little silly with the anchor modifier. Most specifically, beep test was literally impossible. You couldn't, like, the anchor modifier is fine when it just makes a game like harder or a little bit less convenient. When a game is unplayable, I understand why people would have an issue with it. I was like, this is kind of too wacky to have an anchor modifier in beep test. Like, I literally cannot play the game, bro. But for the rest, it was funny. So hell yeah. Also, Jelly Ball as a finale was decently well received. It was very goofy. I saw some people say that it was for sure better than Shockwave, which you're just not that, no. I think they can be on par. It was funny, and like it was pretty interesting to watch, but like it's so silly. It's so goofy. Maybe it is better. I don't know. I haven't played it, of course, so I couldn't really judge that well. And then Factor here says the anchor was really good. It really allowed for people to pop off, including newcomers. The leaderboard has never been that wacky. That is correct. And this person says, I mean, if those 4 players just weren't in the event, it would have been the same, probably. Yes and no. If you didn't have me, well, most specifically, if Ruben and Sleepy weren't in this event, you would be missing out on like half of the newcomers, because they brought in like a lot of people, or like helped get in a lot of people. Not half the newcomers, but a good portion of them. So that would be a thing. Without me, you wouldn't have been able to balance blue, especially in retrospect. Blue team would have needed, like, I don't even know who you would put on that team to make it make sense. And then instead of SK, like SK's team revolved around SK, so like that wouldn't have made sense either. So you couldn't really like take those players out, which just wouldn't have made sense. Either way. Next up, Lunge. It had a little score change this time around, which was good. Of course, it helped make things a little bit better. The scoring is simpler now, which is solid. The game is still super goofy, and it's meant to be goofy. It's pretty funny for that matter. But yeah, it was a little score change where the goal isn't going to be like the value of the goal isn't based off of your ratio. It's now based off of just essentially how long your goal isn't being scored on, and it slowly increases over time. But you still have a situation where like 8 players will be going at your team all at once, right? Which is pretty funny. Yeah, I mean it's a silly little game. I think it's good for that matter. It had a bit more of a gap. Sorry. Ugh. A bit more of a point gap this time around as well, but not like anything crazy. So hell yeah. And then this person says, "Can they make the game not team split? Still a completely pointless decision." It's just I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It was tested and it was liked, so I don't know, man. It makes sense, kind of. It's fun that way. It's meant to be silly, so like having complete competitive integrity is not the goal of lunch. Next up, we have Race, which was a fun one from the Ruben POV. This is Ruben, by the way. Here we go.
No. No. Ruben's in first. Ruben's in first. He can make whatever noises he wants. I did it! Whoa! That's the first time I've ever finished this game mode first.
You can also see that Foolish ends up getting second, BTMC third, Senny fourth, Joe Bart fifth. Like, it's a very fun, like,
God.
CJ sixth, Boger seventh. I think I ended up in ninth. Yeah, Anthos eighth, me in ninth. Like, what a interesting top 10, right? I love to see it. Very, very fun little top 10 and race there. Hell yeah. And then we have, before we get to the actual statistics to recap all of that, we have some Block Wars Rookies 5 memes, starting with Senny. Never played Block Wars, subbed in last minute, came in unknowingly, got first overall, wins the event, refused to elaborate. Exactly. That is the class of Senny K4 in this event. Hell yeah. Next up, I've won Block Wars Rookies, but Block Wars Rookies, but at what cost? Third frag, worst anchor. But actually, though, this guy sucks ass. I'm just kidding. Of course, I'm just kidding, right? Totally. He wasn't even the worst anchor technically. Sleepy was, but he's an idiot, so we don't even worry about that. The rookies red team blessing, me trying to nerf the Comets. I didn't even try to nerf the red team. I just kind of made teams and put them on the colors that made sense, right? The red team had 2 people that had not been on red before, so that made sense. It just happened to end up being really good. Like, it's just a funny coincidence. Joe Bart playing a finale, not Shockwave. The red team blessing. You're so right. Yeah. I mean, it was a really close finale. There were multiple moments where the green team almost got a goal, and then the red team almost got a goal, like in the last part of the event. Like, it was crazy. SK in Lunge, bing, bing, bing. Yeah, SK got like 50 kills or something in Lunge, right? It was crazy. Or like 30. No, it was 50 damage in Extraction. Or like 30 or 40 kills in Lunge, which is insane. Average Hamilton POV in a race. Yeah, Hamilton, by the way, the pig that was Misty's POV was a sight to see. It was an absolute spectacle for this event. Really, just an amazing POV, really. Some viewers, Tomb Titans doesn't equal Sands of Time. Change my mind. You mean the other way around? I feel like Tomb Titans just isn't like SOT really at all anymore. Well, never really was. It's just that people are super empty head, short mind, no creative direction in your brain. Dungeon crawler equals Sands of Time in Minecraft, but no, this I don't know. I did hear about Aqua Team having people say that like Tomb Titans and SOT are not the same at all, because they're not really. They're really just not even close. It's just both of them are dungeon crawlers. That's about it. So yeah. Anyways, on to the stats for this event. Here are the stats, of course. Team placements. we saw that the red team, green team, orange, pink, aqua, yellow, blue, and purple was the leaderboard. Things really shook up at the end, considering Evbo got added to pink for the last game, which was Extraction, which shot pink up from last to fourth, which is really funny. It didn't end up mattering at all, but it was pretty funny. So that's good, I guess. For the rest, there was a good amount of like moving around on the leaderboard. I think early on, green and red were the favorites to take it, but as you can tell, like it's not even like the gap at the end is kind of big. But I think that's mainly because I feel like these teams did pretty good in Extraction for the most part, so that makes sense. Let's go to the games. Tomb Titans. We see a pretty decent spread across the board, honestly. Nobody had no points. It's the last rookies. I think two teams, or maybe it's either last rookies or the rookies before. It's either rookies 3 or rookies 4. Yeah, well, I don't remember which one specifically. There were two teams that didn't really get any points. Now there was none, so that's good, right? You'll have to see that. Oh, I hit my knee on my desk. So hell yeah. Race ended up having a decent spread here. If we look at the individual leaderboard, of course, keep in mind there is like to an extent team points, so the end of board is not perfectly reflective of the actual performance, but is relatively close. In which I assume Rain and Gumi were getting like 10th and 11th type of finish, and then they just shot up a little bit because their team did pretty solid, right? So hell yeah. Then go on to Order Up, which was actually my team's best game. We did pretty good, all right? We did pretty well. You love to see it. Hell yeah, man. We cooked, literally, so W. It's pretty cool. I mean, I was in the kitchen. I am probably by far the best Order Up player that played in this event, right? Aside from maybe Misty, if Misty had her like regular controls, but I am at least top 3 Order Up players in that event. Plus, with my recent speedrunning experience, like using the quick auto crafting, like things are so much better now. So yeah, that makes sense that that my team ended up doing really well. Over Spleef was a really tough one for my team because my team had both Melee and Smith had like really odd connection issues to the server, which is not their fault at all. But it just coincidentally, 2 of my team had DC'd in like 2 or 3 of the Spleef rounds. I think it was 2 of them. 2 of the Spleef rounds. 2 of my teammates just didn't get to play, which really sucks, of course. Which is why my team ended up in last pretty definitively. Otherwise, if you look at the inif board, pretty fun, like little spread across the board. This is why I think Spleef is always a game I will consider to be a good one, because it allows for some really fun like pop-offs and good moments. People like, some people say that it's RNG. Sure, there's a level of like luck, I guess, involved in Spleef, but like there is still a level of mechanical skill that you have to put into Spleef. Like you have to move around and not play like a bot, right? Otherwise you're dying. So yeah, it was pretty fun. Foolish takes first here, of course, as you can see. Like Aqua Team and Green Team, I think, just mainly did really well. As you can see, like most of Green is in the top 15. Same with Aqua. Most of Aqua is in the top 15. Anthos is in top half. Saikuno, I think Saikuno said he was playing on a controller or something like that. Like he was absolutely trolling this event. So honestly, I think Aqua Team could have maybe won this event if Saikuno was playing on a keyboard. Holy moly. Either way. Yeah, no, Spleef was awesome. You'll have to see that. Next up, Blitz Hunt. Dude, this was just classic Blitz Hunt. Was pretty fun. The anchor modifier in this one didn't really hurt that much. It honestly was fine because you kind of just sit in a spot and dodge, right? It does make dodging a little harder. Like over Spleef, the anchor modifier was a little goofy, but it wasn't that bad. Order Up, the anchor modifier just didn't matter at all. Race, the anchor modifier was awesome. Like that was so funny. It like made my game way harder, but it like I much prefer having this anchor modifier and having to actually like try this challenge mode in race against rookies than I just play the race normally and sweep, because that would be boring, right? That wouldn't be fun. But now I just get to like I got like 9th. Oh, boo-hoo, man! I don't care. It was funny. Like I had a great time. It was so sick. So that was cool. That was fun. Yeah, Blitz Hunt. Me and Foolish were like top 2. I was, dude, crossing my fingers so hard trying to get first and live in a game with the anchor modifier on. 3-point difference. Foolish survived like slightly longer than me, and he got the exact same amount of kills as a hunter, which just meant that we were like super close. But dude, Foolish barely beats me out there, which is like so crazy. But yeah, no, this green team went crazy in this. I didn't even know that all 5 of them were top 15 in this game. God damn. Yeah, for the rest, team leaderboard wise, Blitzhunt isn't really like that big of a spread in points anymore, really. You have like one team that has a little bit more than the rest, and then everyone else is relatively close. So like, essentially just a for fun game, but like that's good, right? You want to have a for fun stuff in there, so that's awesome. You love to see it. Lunge had, like mentioned, a little bit more of a gap. The points look crazy because if you go to party, like you see Lunge like peaks up a lot more, but that's fine. Like it creates a bit more of a gap, right? Like mentioned, this game was just goofy as hell. The team points are split, so like you don't really see what's it called? You don't really see in-div performance much anymore. It is really funny though seeing, because Orange is a team of 6 and their teams or points are split more, seeing how like purple team and red take like the top 10 spots instead of orange, which is really silly. Doesn't actually matter, but it's pretty funny. Then on to party. This one was kind of crazy. I didn't even realize my team got second in party. I think we realized during the game, but I forgot, really, that we got second in party. But that's pretty cool. Again, team points, or sorry, yeah, points-wise, like, the split isn't that big. So that's chill, I guess. Indiv board-wise, Deme got first. I just remembered this. Yeah, no, Deme did really good. Taken first in this game. Of course, CJ also second. It's pretty solid. This one was just a fun one in terms of performances across the board. You love to see it, hell yeah. And then if we go to Extraction, team leaderboard first, thank you. This is where the big gap really started to form, right? In terms of points. I didn't even realize Green only got the 5th in this game, so Green was just really doing quite well already throughout the event, which makes sense because I think, what was it, Party? No, Blitzhunt was pretty confident. Like, I don't think they like Spleef they won. They just had some games that like were good. So that makes sense. But yeah, hell yeah, this was a bit of a big gap. Makes sense. Last game, PvP game, decent skill diff. It adds up. My team gets last. It is what it is. It happens. But red team, like mentioned, takes a big win in this game. Pink, because they got FBO, gets a bit of a comeback as well. I see another team of 6 is in 3rd. Another team of 6 is in 4th. Then you have green, and then the rest, of course, as well. So hell yeah, which resulted, like mentioned, if we go to all games and we go to the team, we already are there, results in this as the team leaderboard again. I forgot to show the end of the board for Extraction. Senny takes first, very impressive. Newcomer taking first in an Extraction game. Of course, SK with the Anchor modifier, SK and Booster went crazy. I don't know if the Anchor modifier had much of an effect. It did a little bit, but like that's crazy that with an Anchor modifier they got 2nd and 3rd. Also, holy gap, I didn't even realize this. God damn. I know SK got like 50 shots in, and I assume Senny did like close to that too. But wow, that is like 150 point gap between 2nd and 3rd Indiv. That is ridiculous. Yeah, Sleepy here as well. I was the worst anchor in Extraction, really. That's crazy, huh? By quite a big gap, really. Wow. Either way. Actually, no, FBO was the worst anchor in Extraction, technically. Either way, Jelly Ball. This one is a little bugged, I think, but this is a little bugged. Jelly Ball ended up being the red team scored a goal, and then the green team scored a goal, and then it went down to a tiebreaker, and then red team, like I showed, the Russell clip, was the winner of this event, and that was Block Wars Rookies 5. I think it was a really good event. A lot of people saying that they really enjoyed this. If you haven't gotten a chance to watch, of course you've now gotten everything spoiled, but I really highly recommend watching a POV. I think Deme is a good POV to watch, of course. I think there's Foolish is probably a good POV to watch as well, considering he got like first in 2 of the games, right? So hell yeah. Green is probably a solid POV. You could watch Joe Bart if you want, for example. And hell yeah, that's Block Wars Rookies 5. Let me know your thoughts on how everything went. No clue when the next rookies is going to be. Probably like early to mid 2026, right? Maybe like April or something like that. Who knows, really? And yeah, that's all for now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye!